Disclaimer. The late, great, beautiful, and iconic Whitney Houston said, I believe the children are future. Whitney, what children with a glass? What children? Not these poltergeists. Not these children of the corn. You can't be talking about them, baby. Maybe you're talking about my generation, but you can't be talking about this new generation. I got 2 stories to share with you guys where it's becoming super scary to even give your children direction and instruction and discipline because these babies will kill you, Juanita. Now, I'm going to let the sister come forth and tell you about her family dynamic because now she has to bury her mother, bury her father because her younger brother shot and killed their parents. Then there's another story in Harlem where an iconic hooper has lost his life by being stabbed in the neck by his son. So let's roll this beat footage and we're going to come back and we're going to go down that rabbit hole, baby, because, baby, I'm scared of you. Let's go.
The sister of the 14-year-old boy accused of shooting and killing his own parents. Deputies say after shooting David Lee and Brandy Smith, the teen walked to a nearby church and turned himself into law enforcement. Only Action Jack's Alexis Clevenger spoke to the woman hours after she lost her parents and saw her brother arrested.
Ayanna Russell is now without both of her parents.
I wish I can go back and thank her one last time. Tell her I love you one last time to let my dad know how much I appreciated him.
The Clay County Sheriff's Office says David Lee and Brandy Smith were shot to death early Monday morning. And their son, 14-year-old Trevor Lee, is charged with the killing.
I'm shocked, honestly. I'm taking a mental loss of words that this has happened.
Deputies say there was an argument last night between Trevor and his parents that led up to the shooting. And after the murder, Lee walked to a nearby church and turned himself over to deputies. Russell says when she lived at home, their family dynamic was normal.
We joked around with each other. We played a lot. We played video games with each other. You know, we went to the movies. We were like your regular family. No issues at all whatsoever.
And she says her brother was a good kid.
He's a bright young man. He wanted to become a football player. He was freshly coming into high school, a freshman. The kids loved him. You know, he had friends, lots of friends.
She says she had no idea about the argument or any issues between her brother and parents. But despite this horrific tragedy, Russell says she still loves her little brother.
Did he make a mistake? Yes. He made a big mistake, a huge one. My little brother, he is not a monster.
For local coverage you can count on, Alexis Clevenger.
As y'all listened and watched, it's always good to hear from somebody that's in the actual family itself. Because when I originally read that headline and it said that a 14-year-old killed his parents and turned himself in, I was immediately like, what in the world is wrong with these demonic kids? But the sister would know because she was raised in-house with her brother and her mother and father. So she would know, and if she doesn't know why he spazzed out, then Lord knows that we got to get these people help these days. Now, I don't know what type of argument you could have that you would want to shoot your parents to death. My mother lost her life to cancer. That's something you cannot stop, and sometimes you can stop it by the grace of chemo. But I could never, ever, ever, ever get on that level to do harm to my mother for disciplining me and making sure that I follow the rules that govern myself in her household when she was here. So what could have been that horrible for you to load the gun, pull the hammer back, and shoot it? Not one parent, but both. Your biological parents at that. At the age of 14, we were hunching, popping fireworks, and riding our bikes through the streets, making beats on the tables, and freestyling. And then we were athletically inclined, or we were in the band. Wasn't nobody thinking about murdering their parents. I don't know what's going on. But at some point, he felt the resentment because he walked to a church and called 911 and let them know what was going on. And I believe, and I want to snap my fan and say, allegedly he called his aunt first. Then she contacted police, and then so forth. He contacted them, or they possibly contacted him. I'm not sure, but I do know that he asked the operator to help him and pray for him. Where was that prayer, kid, when you pulled the chamber on the gun? See, this is why I be scared to have a weapon for protection in the house, because even though you think that you're going to be using that to protect your intermediate family, sometimes somebody in your intermediate family can take you out. Now, there was a best friend of Trevor, and the best friend described the parents as being very nice and fun and outgoing. They were like those parents that everybody kind of went over to their house, and you be like, what's up, mama? What's up, pops? And everybody did that type of greeting. Just looking at them from the picture, they looked like they was cool and smooth. Like they looked like they just had raised y'all and was like, you know what, we finna be nesters, but to hear that your own flesh and blood did this to you, it's like, what's going on? Now, their friend also said that Trevor was a cool kid. He was a good kid, just like his sister said. You know, he got everything that he wanted, desired. He was athletically inclined. He was smart. But my thing is, when we talk about mental health, everybody be like, no, they good, we good. And I don't know if that's the case with this family, but something had to like, was he out of body or something? Like, come on. It's scary to tell your kids things these days, because these ages of kids aren't built for it tough. They built like a refurbished car. They built with very sensitive needs. They don't like direction. They don't like instruction. They don't like criticism. They don't like nothing. They want to just move through life like there's no pros and cons. They only want to be congratulated, and they don't want to be corrected. And so even when you call yourself correcting, they get chest tight, mad. Everything is, you're attacking me and I'm angry. But there is no, like, calm down with these kids, and that's what's scary. Now, the other story is another example of a person that killed their father. This, and I don't know who Tip Dog is, like, prior to this story, me ever seeing him do anything, but according to Harlem, he was a Harlem basketball legend. And at some point in his home, him and his son got into a minor dispute. And his son allegedly, because I wasn't there, stabbed him in the neck. He was able to walk out of his house and call for help. The 911 came, but he succumbed to his injuries a few days later. So what made his son that mad to stab his father in the neck, to stab somebody? Is a I hate you sucker crime, because you got to get the knife, you got to angle yourself, you coming back with the force, and you're going at an angle of where you want to go. That is a direct, I'm upset. And if someone stabs you in the neck or in your heart, they meant it. I'm sorry, they just do. So at the end of the day, I don't know what these two individuals are thinking now, since they have had time to think about what they did then. But mentally, y'all finna be effed up, because you took out the people that created you. What could have happened that bad to make murder was the case that they gave you? Trevor was 14, going into high school. I do not know how old Tip Dog's son was, but regardless of, I have never in my life wanted to do harm to my mother. I might have mumbled something under my lips, oh, big head. And some of y'all might have said, oh, loose wig, wear that. But never have I ever wanted to do anything to put my mother in harm's way. I would probably protect my mother to infinity and beyond, but I would never be the person that needed the protection. They wouldn't need no protection, because I wasn't the person that was the aggressor. I would be, protecting her from the world, but I would never want to hurt my mama. You know, your mama would say something to you back in the day, you'd be like, step on a crack, break your mama's back. But you would be still scared to step on that crack, and that was just a little old woo-woo-woo nursery rhyme thing. But you didn't want your mama to be in pain. You didn't want your mama to cry. You didn't even want your mama to be mad at you. Hell, even if my mom was here today, I would not be saying half of these cuss words, because it was just a level of respect, and that was my authoritative superhero. So I respect it. I may not like every decision, but I respected my mama. I respect my dad. Hell, I respect y'all mama and daddy, because that's how I was raised. But this generation only responds with anger and violence. And at some point, you're going to eliminate everybody that loves you because you don't take order right. And that's creepy. So, Trevor asked for prayers when he spoke to 911. And I'm like, where was your mind at to even go through and act like that? Like, in the wee hours of the night, a dispute. It's always a dispute. We wasn't thinking about that, man, at 14, man. We just wasn't. But this is a different time. This is why I said God is displeased about how this world is being operated. This ain't what his vision was. So if we're not going to get serious about mental health, and if we're not going to get serious about trying to fix escalated situations with a positive resolution, we're going to see a lot of more homicides. And it's going to be people that you are very close with because you're not going to know how to stop where you are and calm down. You're going to accelerate from where you are and speed up. And after everything calms back down, that's when you're going to be the most resentful and regretful, because at that point you've eliminated the people that cared about you the most. I wish everybody a healthy healing with this. It's going to take time. And I don't have an expiration date on that. It's just going to be waves of time. Now, your sister spoke highly of you, Trevor. We'll never understand who you really were, Trevor. But I hope you get help, Trevor. And to Tip Dog son, we don't know you. We just, let us pray. It's getting rough. I'm scared to tell folks stuff to do because, baby, these kids ain't cut for it. They just not. They really soft. Backbone just soft in the mug. Soft like cotton candy. But anyway, I'm just the messenger. It's your girl, Shaunie B. If you're cool with your girl, down fool with your girl, make sure you check out my website, www.shauniebentertainment.com. Yes! Check out the fan gear. You got options to drop donations. Never any pressure to do either of the two, because I see the likes, the shares, the comments, and it means the world to me. So I just want to say thank you for rocking with me, because y'all can be anywhere in the world. Let's hop in the comments, man. It's getting real risky out here, and I don't even know what to tell y'all to do, because I'm scared too. I'm scared. But you just got to pray over your babies and get your babies help early, because as they grow up, they're just taking that weight with them, and they don't know how to de-escalate nothing. And you don't want somebody else to kill them. You don't want them to kill you. You just want to be in a tight family situation where y'all grow up together and have fun together. It should never escalate to where you're taking your family members' lives over a dispute. Something that could have been you could have walked outside, came back in, cooled down, and talked about it. But baby, y'all are different. And I don't know what to tell you. And I don't like it. But either way, y'all please be safe. And until next time, next story, and I'm out this. Peace.